Hi folks, as you know, Sony has something big in mind for early November at the Creative Space event in New York City that kicks off on November the 8th. And I also told you last week that Europeans are invited on a similar event in Istanbul. First of all, the past days I kept receiving confirmation also from other sources that they have been invited to a major event in Istanbul or in Asia or in New York City. So it's no more a secret that Sony will definitely, I'm 100% sure, announce new product or products around November the 8th, maybe November the 7th, and so definitely stay tuned on this channel if you don't want to miss that, and also on sonyalpha if you don't want to miss the announcement of the new Sony gear. What's very important today is that one of my trusted sources clearly heard that at least one of the products that will be announced on that day is definitely the 300mm 2.8 GM lens. As you know, I leaked the images of the lens back in September. This isn't a big surprise, but definitely it's good news that this lens will be announced. Then I don't know when it will be available, probably in January. And I still don't have info about the pricing of the lens, but this will be definitely cost around $6,000 or $7,000. And one thing I can tell you is that months ago a trusted source told me that the 300mm lens would be announced along the A9III. So now that I got a near certainty that the 300mm GM will be announced on November 7th, 8th, I think it's likely the A9III will be announced, but I still don't have a final confirmation on that. So please don't hold me yet accountable until I don't tell you that I got a final proof that the A9III will be announced on that very same day. But I think seeing how big those events are, how Sony invited also important sports photographer. I mean, the 300mm lens is certainly a very important lens for professional sports photographer, but I don't know if it's knowing that the A9III is definitely coming between November and January. I just don't see a chance that they invite sports photographer on November and then one more time in January to announce the A9III separately. So just my guess, my guts tell me the A9III is coming November 7, 8, 2. Moving on, you know that Sony registered 3 cameras in China. One is the A9II, the other one we don't know what it is, but the third one was rumored to be an FX model. Well, we got the final answer that third model is actually, they already announced Sony LR1. So don't expect any FX model in the next 2 months. It's quite unusual from Sony to register a new camera in China after it has been announced, but the LR1 is kind of very exotic niche camera, so it makes sense that this can happen. And also the LR1 will only be available in the first half of 2024, so makes sense that the registration came later after the announcement, so it happens. So from the 3 registered camera, one is the A9III, 100% sure. The other one is the already announced LR1. The third one we still don't know. I hope that I will get some info about this in the next weeks, but I think it's likely this camera will be announced sometimes in January. There are speculation going around, of course, that this would be the A7S4. Some even think it's a new kind of full-frame entry-level camera. It's not the A1 II. That's not what I heard, so I think there's a low chance that this is the A1 II. I think Sony will focus on the A9III and all the new features that the A9III will bring, which are kind of amazing from what I heard. And I hope that in the next videos I can start to show you possible specs of the A9III. I'm starting to receive some info about sensor specs, video recording, about the pricing, and I will now work out all the specs so to give you the most reliable info as possible on the A9III that is, I think, likely coming around November 7, 8. So that's it for today. Please again subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming rumors, and I see you soon, folks.